While you are watching this, I am currently in Egypt. I want to share with you, finally, the story of how this whole trip came to be. There are signs everywhere in that exhibit to tell you not to touch anything, and I touched everything. There was actually one specific stone. Something shifted. Fast forward to exactly 1 year later. It was a vision and a calling that came from my heart. The three guides came through, and I just wanted to ask them what they knew of the Great Pyramid. They said that there was another aspect that they would touch on later. I have asked them if this is a time when they are willing to talk about that, and they said yes. As the dawning of first contact appears, we wish to bring through the uses of technology lying dormant on your planet. The well-kept, yet so obvious secret lying right before all of you. The beings who have held captive the energy of the Great Pyramid have scrubbed away the evidence of what it is capable of. Now, there are only pieces left and dots to connect for humanity to try and understand how the pyramid once was used and how it will be used again. The more who understand and experience the energies of the Great Pyramid now, the more will understand the answers as well as the right questions to ask at the time when it is most important to. Hello, everyone. Wow. While you are watching this, I am currently in Egypt, and it is going to be an amazing trip. I am recording this just before leaving, and I want to share with you, finally, the story of how this whole trip came to be. So, I actually want to take you back to last year, February 11th of 2023. I went to see the King Tut exhibit in San Francisco City. The last day that it was in the city, I went to go see it. And there were incredible pieces there. There were huge stones, there were statues, there was the sarcophagus, there were many sarcophagi actually. There were various mummified beings in animal form as well as otherwise. Incredible jewelry. There was all kinds of very intricate jewelry, pottery, so much was there, as well as these massive stones that came from various structures and around just the sacred sites in Egypt. And there are also signs everywhere in that exhibit to tell you not to touch anything. And I touched everything that I could. And while I did that, I actually did feel something shifted. Just when there was actually one specific stone, and I have a picture of it, but I don't remember off the top of my head what it was that I was touching. But I felt a shift, and it was actually the stone that the most number of people were touching. And of course, there was a security guard that was very unhappy. It was only when the security guard turned around that everybody would go and put their hands on the stone. So I start with that day because that was really my first actual touching of anything from Egypt. And then fast forward to exactly 1 year later, February 11th of this year, 2024, when I was in a meditation. I practice a meditation every day. And while I was in it, there was a moment unprompted by anything in the meditation. It was a vision and a calling that came from my heart. And what was brought through was me being in Egypt, having just a really beautiful time and experiencing a lot of joy. And I specifically saw this artist named Marlena Seven-Bremer. She is also an author, but she came through, and I really did not know anything about her. I started reading her book a little while ago, actually, because of this experience, and she was in my vision of being in Egypt. And I came out of that meditation wondering what I had just seen and why that was there. It just didn't make sense to me. anytime something comes through in meditation, I just let it be whatever it is. And just, I trust that it will make sense later. So that same day, when speaking with my partner said, I also had a vision of being in Egypt. And I couldn't believe it because that's exactly what I saw in my own vision. And while that story was being told to me, while he was telling me his experience, I then was relaying that I also saw Marlena in this vision that I had. While that was happening, I looked down, I had Instagram pulled open, and there on my home feed, which this basically never happens, but there on my home feed was a post from this artist, Marlena Seven Bremner. And it was an invitation to go on a pilgrimage to Egypt, to 11 sacred sites, with someone that she knows in some capacity, who would be leading the trip. And I mean, when I shared that with my partner, we basically couldn't believe the synchronicity of all of it, of both of us being in Egypt on our own, unprompted by anything in the meditation, unknowing to each other that we were having this experience until we got out, and then seeing this post on Instagram from the woman that was in my vision. I mean, of course, you can hear it was just really so miraculous that had taken place, so synchronistic. It felt quite undeniable, the synchronicity of the whole experience. So we saw that we could sit in with an open house and listen to the experience of basically told from the leader of the group, how it was going to be held. Just after hearing everything, hearing from her own experience and her history of studying Egyptology for over 10 years. She's in the process of writing a book. She is also a shamanic practitioner and a maestra when it comes to working with different plant medicines. She's an Ayurvedic practitioner. So much of her own experience and the various ways that she orients to the world overlaps with mine. And it was truly, at that point, after hearing from her in her own words, how she holds the space, the way that she interacts with the energies and her own developing relationships with the energies of this space, we just knew there was no way that we could say no to this invitation that felt totally brought on by the divine. So we will be there. By the time you see this, we already will be there. We'll be settling in just on our first day, actually, by the time this comes out. And if you would like to see more of what's actually unfolding kind of in a day-to-day experience, I encourage you to follow my Instagram page, Alunya Noel. That's really where we will be posting the most while I'm there. And then you'll get to see some of the things that I'm experiencing in real time, hopefully. So as often as I can with Wi-Fi and all of that permitting, I will post what I am able to and just keep you in on the adventure while I'm there. So another piece that happened is prior to this week, a while ago, I don't remember when, the three guides came through and I asked them about the Great Pyramid of Giza. There are, of course, so many mysteries surrounding the Great Pyramid, and I just wanted to ask them from their perspective, what they knew of the Great Pyramid, why it had been built, what the purpose of it was, many, many questions that I wanted to ask. And they answered all of them. They also said in that transmission with them, which I just did privately, they said that there was another aspect to the Great Pyramid that they would not go into at that time, but that they would touch on later. I have asked them if this is a time when they are willing to talk about that, and they said yes. So I want to just bring them in and share with all of you what it is that they are wanting to share with me and talk about in terms of the Great Pyramid. It is my understanding it's related to the evolution of humanity, which is why they want to bring it through. That my relationship with them is less about only curiosity. It really has to be a very purposeful intention as to why there is something that's being asked. So I'm just coming to understand that about them. And this is one of those things. They're saying that it really is time for humanity to have a much deeper understanding of various aspects of technology, but one of them being the Great Pyramid. So I will bring them through in just a moment. I just wanted to share that I will be gone until the beginning of May. So about 2 weeks, or a little over 2 weeks, I think, is how long I will be gone for. And you can look for a couple more videos coming out here and there. Again, Wi-Fi permitted and all of that. But in general, it is Instagram that you will be able to follow this story happening in real time on, and you'll be able to hear from me more on there. So I'm hoping to do some kind of maybe a live while I'm there. Again, I don't know the Wi-Fi situation, so all depends, but I am hoping to do that while I'm there, just to share more with you while I am actively experiencing it. So I will just take a moment, and then I'll bring the guides through. We will see what they have to say about the pyramid. As the dawning of first contact appears in the minds and the awareness of humanity, we wish to bring through some of the uses of technology that is still present, yet lying dormant on your planet. This piece that we refer to is, of course, the Great Pyramid of Giza, the well-kept yet so obvious secret lying right before all of you. So obvious that it is kept hidden because it is not allowed to be seen as it really is. We have attempted to describe this already, but we will say aloud now. The beings who have held captive the technology and the energy of the Great Pyramid have scrubbed away the remnants and the evidence of what this piece of technology truly is and what it is capable of. There are a great many misunderstandings about it, who built it, where it came from, and how it was used. We wish to share two of the most important aspects as it relates to where humanity is entering into very soon on your timeline. One aspect is that of it being a star map. What we mean when we say this is a holographic map that can be used to locate, to translocate, and transport various ideas as well as beings and objects and energies from one space to another, primarily to neighboring star systems. However, there are places in the galaxy that can transmit messages even further. For example, a message may be sent to a neighboring star, and that star will have a receiver to then send the message onward to where else it is meant to go to. This is how messages, information, technology even, can be sent vast distances, but the pyramid itself primarily was used for messages both on planet and off. A way of sharing information, updates, as well as asking for help in various ways. This process and this ability was taken first by the elite of Egypt. Once it was understood from neighboring star systems what had happened, there ceased to be contact with the Great Pyramid in this way. The pyramid itself went dormant, as it would not allow such energies to be sent and used in a way that was not helpful. So, this portion of the pyramid went dark, as it were. The use and understanding of these star maps is also a way for humanity to understand space-time as a continuum, but beyond that, as a space that can be manipulated. That is the easiest way for us to explain it from our perspective. Space-time is not static. It is moving, which now is in the mainstream consciousness of humanity, we know, but it is more dynamic than that even. It is malleable as a substance. It is closer to a plastic solid or closer to water than it is to simply a force that is moving. This is part of the misunderstanding that humanity has in relationship to space and time. It is both a force as well as an object to be manipulated. Again, not precise words, but the closest approximation from our dimension. There is more to be said on this, but what we want to express at this time is the ability that the pyramid has to express this understanding, if only the remnants had been left as they were. But as we stated, this information was scrubbed away. It was removed in a most abrasive manner from the insides of the pyramid. Now, there are only pieces left, pieces and dots to connect for humanity to try and understand how the pyramid can be used and how it once was used, and we will say how it will be used again. When the time of first contact does happen, there will be more and more questions. These questions will not be able to be answered by the government or other powers that keep the systems in place as they are currently. The more who understand and experience the energies of the Great Pyramid now, the more will understand the answers as well as the right questions to ask at the time when it is most important to. We wish to help in revealing all secrets that would help uplift humanity to the next level of consciousness, and the Great Pyramid is one such secret. There is much more to say on this, but we will leave it at this for now. My energy stays with me. Your energy stays with you. Okay, well, that will be interesting to listen to, because it will be my first time whenever I get to listen to that as well. I don't remember what the three guides say. The beings that I remember the most easily, but I still don't remember everything, are my Pleiadian priestess sisters. And a large part of why I'm able to remember what they say is simply because I've been working with them for so long. But even them, I forget a lot of it. But the three guides, I can't hold on to the information. It comes in and goes out, and I see flashes of images when they're speaking many times, but even those fade. I don't remember everything. So it will be interesting to listen to this for me as well. Okay, well, I think I have covered everything. I am just very excited at this point. And yeah, you can expect to get a few videos from me here and there. But like I said, please follow on Instagram if you would like to stay more up to date and just current with the day-to-day happenings. And I am so looking forward to sharing all the stories with you when I return, and just seeing what happens, really. Just going with this experience and experiencing it firsthand is going to be a journey and indeed an initiation unto itself. So until I am able to see you all again, I am sending my love as always and my sincere thanks for your support of this work and support of just my own evolution and process with all of this. I am truly thankful to be on this path with all of you. Thank you. And may you remember your magic today.